Hello, Intuitive friends, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, just take a look down below in the description box. All my links are there. For those of you who are my subscribers, my new viewers, and visitors alike, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. This live is focusing on the super chat live where you ask me an open-ended question, taking a look at the examples that I've listed both in the description box as well as in the chat. Please know that I will not be answering follow-up questions. It is one question and one question only. So anything adding an question attached to a first question, I will not be answering. I'm only answering one question and one question only. And of course, when I say answering, is giving clarity to that question. And of course, as a reminder that these messages are for entertainment purposes only. Okay. So, intuitive friends, today I will be channeling messages focusing on you ask and I answer. It is a 15, is it 15? Yeah, I want to say it's a $15 super chat. So if you are watching from a country where the exchange is different, just make sure that it is aligned with the $15 USD for this specific reading. This is not a free reading, and I'll be looking at the chat in a minute. All right, intuitive friends. So I'm going to review the following, and then we're going to go straight into the questions here. First and foremost, this is not a free reading. That's number one. Number two, give me 1 second, guys. All right, hold on. Here we are. Now I could see. All right, this is not a free reading. There are no refunds, and it is a $15 USD 15-minute super chat only reading. It is an open-ended question only. You ask and I answer. And please remember that these messages are for entertainment purposes only. The example questions are as follows. What do I need to know about fill in the blank? How can I move forward? How can I move fill in the blank forward? How can I fill in the blank? How can I improve fill in the blank? You could write the situation or the area of your life where you may be focusing on in that specific area. What's potentially unfolding with fill in either the situation or a specific person or whatever that may be. Remember, it's only one question. What should I watch out for in fill in the blank? It could be a situation, it could be an area, it could be an issue that you may be experiencing right now. Why was I ghosted? Why has my past connection gone MIA? In other words, why has that person ghosted you? And another question, why the silence between my partner and I? Does it have to be a partner? No. Why the silence between my brother and I, my sister and I, my family and I, my my sibling, whatever it is, children, whomever. Okay, so you can fill that in the blank. What would help in resolving or removing this in my fill in the blank? What would help me in resolving and removing this issue, this problem, this situation from my career, love life, family life, wherever that may be? Last but not least, as an example question, we have here, what are the blocks or fears in this situation or connection? Okay. That being said, please note that I don't do readings for yes, no questions. Okay. My opinion, you don't have to agree, and that's fine. I don't feel that there is enough clarity in yes, no questions. That's number one. Number two, for those of you who are interested in learning why I don't do yes, no questions, is because there are more yes cards in a tarot deck than there are no cards if we're looking at yes or no. Okay, so that's another reason. Okay, we can get into that another time. I can show you guys what I'm talking about. But again, that doesn't really give you a lot of clarity, because something could be no, but it could be yes in other things or other, and this way, two things can actually exist in one reality, right? So it's better to just gain the clarity surrounding a situation, and then that would make more sense. Okay. Remember that messages may not be what you want to know. Uh, uh, I'm sorry. Remember, messages may be what you need to know, but not what you want to know. Okay, there's a difference. Okay. Sometimes you're expecting it to say this way, or what to be revealed is this specific mindset. And at times that may not be the case. It may be what you need to know, or you may need to be aware of. That being said, let's review the legal disclaimers, and then we're going to jump into the first reading. Legal disclaimers: please remember that these messages are for entertainment purposes only. Please remember that readings should never replace professional licensed medical, financial, therapeutic, legal advice, or professional medical, licensed medical, financial, therapeutic, legal help. My readings are for entertainment purposes only and are not replacements for getting licensed professional medical, financial, therapeutic, legal advice. That being said, welcome, Monica. Thank you so much for joining the super chat. Okay, Monica, let's take a look. What I want you to do, Monica, is take a look at your question and rephrase it. Okay. So, does so and so miss me? That's either yes or no. So, take a look at the open-ended questions, and then pick one that you feel is more aligned to what exactly it is that we want to. Okay. Perfect. 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 How is S feeling about my absence? Excellent. Thank you. To the point. No, yes, no. Let's see what's going on. All right. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Yes, that is a whole lot better. A++ for that question. The structure makes it a little bit more solid. Okay. More like, okay, this is exactly what we're looking for. Okay. So let's see. How is S feeling about Monica's absence? Okay, let's take a look here. Of course, Monica, just a reminder that these messages are for entertainment purposes only. And again, it may not be what you want to know, but it may be what you need to know. So let's see. What can we find out here? Oh, unexpected joys. Life surprises are gifts, opening doors to the unforeseen adventure. There are times that there are times that unexpectedly S feels the sense of remembering the past, remembering the connection, remembering memories between the both of you. Okay, so unexpected joys. All right, there are moments where unexpectedly there may be a memory, a thought. There may be sign, symbol, synchronicities, Hold on a second. All right, that's a little bit better. Sign, symbol, synchronicities, maybe hearing someone who has this, the same name as you, seeing their date of birth. There could be some reminders here and there, okay? Let's see what else is coming through. What may be S's potential feelings towards Monica's absence? It says, shadowed waters. Beware illusions that skim the surface, for true understanding lies in the depth. Okay. There may be some type of how can I explain this? This is coming through as someone who may still have a lot of muddied water in regards to certain clarity or understanding or gaining some type of, whether it be healing, whether it be there still may be some illusions here that this person is dealing with in their own mind, okay, or within their own reality. And I feel that this muddies the waters here because, by the way, this card is in the reverse, in its reverse stance. In its upright stance, it's about looking at the romance. Reverse stance, it's about things still being muddy, okay? Not seeing either clarity or not being able to see clearly through something, okay? So, yes, there may be moments where there is this energy here of memories coming in, but there's also here a lot of things that are not clear and fully illuminated here in some way, shape, or form, okay? So there's mixed emotions here. It could be even, like I would like to consider here, bittersweet. Okay, bittersweet. Let's take a look here. By the way, let's see if let's see here. Is it working? All right, looks like it's working. All right, let's jump to the next. Oh, it's not working. All right, let's see what else is coming through. How does S feel about Monica's absence? I'm getting, like I said, like a mixed bittersweet. There are joys of thinking about the memories shared, and there could be here a bit of sadness, but there's a sense here of something not being very clear. Okay, maybe there were conversations here had before. Maybe there some things that need to be shown or proved or worked on. And so that may be the reason here that there's still a lot of mess there. Something hasn't cleared up. Okay. Let's see here. How does S potentially feel about Monica's absence? Okay. Deception, house, child. Okay. Something here may not have been on the up and up. Okay. So, how does he feel about it? There are parts here that it's showing that there is a sense of, yeah, I may have deceived or I might not have shown some sense of this, transparency. The snake is about the deception. It's about the being sneaky. It's about being clever. Okay. But it's also about the loss, the problem, the situation. Okay. The situation that was caused and that rocked either the stability or the security within this connection. And so, what I feel that this person may be, and like I said, I told you there was a lack of clarity here. There's a part of this person that understands that there is still currently either a deception, a loss, a problem, or something that hasn't been resolved. And there's a part of this person that is ready for a new chapter. Okay. So they're kind of like in the middle of these two emotions. In the middle of, yes, there is a sense of joy in the times that we share together, okay, with house coming through here. Hold on one second. All right, there we go. So I'm getting that type of energy here, this bittersweet energy. There are moments of, wow, I remember the good times that we had, this either new beginning that we had. It felt good, it felt stable, it felt secure, but something shifted. So this person, what they're feeling in your absence is a sense of loss. It's a sense of loss due to either their doing or undoing of something here. Okay? That rocked. I'm so sorry. What is going on with my lighting today? That rocked the stability of the either newness that was either starting or the renewal that was starting here. Okay? Let's get into more depth here on emotions. How does S feel about Monica's absence? So again, I'm getting a sense here of feeling of loss, insecurity, in the stability. So I don't know if this is talking about resources, but there's something within the connection that, look at that. I didn't do it. It fell all out on its own. Deception. Someone is wearing a false someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. With your absence, there's a very big glaring light shining on the reason why you are not there. And the reason, not once, but twice, is showing some type of lack of transparency, some type of deception, some type of problem. Someone was trying to be slick. Someone was trying to pull or string someone along. It was something here that wasn't on the up and up. So your absence brings to the surface these emotions where this person has to, in a way, deal with the consequences of their actions, of what was said or done. And their feelings about your absence is because you're not there, because this person is undergoing the consequences of their actions, there's a lack of stability or security in regards to the new or renewedness that they were hoping or expecting. And if this was something that this person was deceiving, or there was a lack of transparency in whatever this may have been, their luck ran out, right? Their luck ran out, and some action needed to happen here. So your absence only places us in a position to have to take a look at why you're not there. Why do certain things move in a certain direction? Why were some actions done or not done, or things said or not said? So their feelings about you is having to deal with their own shadow self, or whatever plot or plan did not end up coming through because there was an awareness on your end in some way, shape, or form. So the feelings that I'm getting here are a feeling of a person feeling like, man, I lost something due to my deception, to my lies, to my problems, to over-promising, under-delivering, to maybe not being as reliable as I said I was going to be or not, whatever this may have been. Let's take a look at what else is coming through. What else are S's emotions here? See? I mean, it keeps coming up in every card. We have here healing, family issues. It says your love benefits as you forgive. So again, this is either forgive or be forgiven. So you're to S's feelings about your absence is that it's shining a very big light on the healing that needs to occur on S's end in regards to how either this connection was handled or what decisions were made here on S's end. So there is a sense here of feeling bad. There's a sense here of feeling like I lost something, but I lost something because something I said or did created some type of issue and some type of hurt, pain, and sorrow. Okay? Let's take a look here at how does S feel about your absence? Because it's looking here as if some shadow self or deceptions are being highlighted here. Whether it's S's failure to take a look at his own shadow self, whether it's that S was turning a blind eye on something, whether S's intentions were not as genuine as were perceived, whether there was a very big lack of security, stability, or resources, and there may have been here something connected to deceiving money-wise, stability-wise, security-wise. But let's see what's coming through here. How is S's feelings about Monica's absence? Because it's coming across here as like some shadow. It's him being kind of like on a big time out and having to deal with consequences of either certain behaviors or decisions or mindset here. Let's see. We have here your inner critique. Challenge the voice of self-doubt. It is often shaped by past conditioning, not truth. Is exposing the fact that whatever the situation, circumstance, or event, however this may have gone down in the connection with you, Monica, that this could be stemming from a past in regards to his childhood, old wounds, past trauma, things that this person needs to work on their own in order to be able to allow themselves to walk into another connection with anyone. Because this is not just about their feelings towards you, is also the feelings that they have about themselves and how that is projected into connections. So that has a lot to do with this deception. Okay? And remember, deception comes in many different forms. Yes, it could come through cheating, lying, but it could also be someone who refuses to heal something that needs to be healed within themselves. Okay? This could also be healing from past old patterns. This could be, well, if it is resources, money, or stability, then why was there deception connected to? And again, this is symbolic because home is about stability. Why was there a deception involving security, money, resources, and stability? Right? It goes right back to healing family issues. So all this is interconnecting with one another in regards to this. So there could be here, yes, your absence is a blessing in disguise for this person, because it's going to place them in a position where they're going to have to figure out, well, if I want a new beginning just with myself, just with me, right? I need to look at these shadows. I need to understand, why is it that after a breakup, separation, or divorce, I'm still not allowing myself to see something clearly. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, something is muddy. So yes, there's a sense here of feeling of loss, feeling, yeah, I miss Monica, but there's also this sense of missing you is a remembrance here that there are consequences to deceiving, lying, overpromising, under-delivering, and not taking care of the healing that needs to happen, so that whatever past conditioning S may have had in their life doesn't keep popping up in their new cycles. Okay? So how is S about your absence? It's opening up wounds and traumas that this person needs to work through. That's why this is coming across as unexpected joys. There's a bittersweet type of energy here. Love calls it like it sees it. Sometimes it may be a little bit of tough love involved, but love is honest. Love doesn't have deception. Love doesn't string people along. You see? So there are what's layers that this person has had to confront due to the fact that you're no longer there. Let's see what else is coming through. How is S feeling about Monica's absence? And this is actually a very very well written question, because it's not about you. It's about what the absence is making this person feel. And this person is feeling uncomfortable. There's an uncomfortability here. But this is the thing. Will this uncomfortability help this person realize that the healing process begins with themselves? Or will this person choose to stay in this pattern? Let's see what else is coming through here about Monica's absence. Interesting, this one here wanted to fall off, and this says, breaking news. A surprising revelation will shift S's perspective. Exactly what I said. Validation, confirmation. Okay? where this validation confirmation is saying, well, guess what? This consequence of absence, it's either going to do one or two things. He's either going to choose to stay in this energy and not be able to evolve and grow, or it's going to spark the sense of like, let me get my stuff together. Let me come clean with whatever this is, whatever it is that I am doing, or whatever it is that's not as stable. Let me work on that. Not for you, but for himself. Okay? Okay. Let's take a look at what else is coming through here. Very, very interesting. Very telling here in regards to this energy or these energies. Let's see what else is coming through. How is S feeling about Monica's absence? Look at that. It doesn't matter what deck I pick up. There's a lie here. There's a lie. There's either a lie that he's living. There's either a lie on how he, I don't know, runs his world. That has to do with resources, stability, money, income. You know what I mean? There's something here that is a straight up deception. How is he feeling about your absence? Like I said, he has to figure out what is this lie that he is living. And not only is he living the lie, but he wants other people to live this lie or this illusion, however you want to call it. But we have not one, not two, three decks completely different, shuffled, that have come through having to do with deception, deception, lie, lie, deception, deception, lie. Okay? And look at this. If you take a look, someone is throwing something in the garbage. Okay? Someone is rummaging through the garbage, getting evidence, finding out information, uncovering a truth. Three decks saying the same thing. So something here is definitely fishy. And my opinion, okay, I wouldn't even waste my time with a person who has this much deception going on in their reading, because something here is not in the up and up. Something here doesn't look right, doesn't smell right. All right, let's see what else is coming through. We're going to use this deck, and then we're going to close the reading with advice here for you. Okay, so I'll be taking a look at the advice here for you. Let's take a look here what's coming through. Let's see. Hold on. This is why I always say in the readings, it's not always what you want to know, but is what you need to know. You know? And what you need to know is that this situation, person, or whatever this is not on the up and up. All right, let's see what's going on here. More clarity about feelings. I kid you not, confessions. Like, do you see how thick this deck is? There are about 80 cards in here. 80. And the one that came out is confessions. It doesn't matter what deck I pull. It's not going to matter. Because again, I kid you not. Like, I cannot make this reading up. Confession. A hidden truth is ready to surface, exposing what's been concealed. And this is not about someone's feelings, my dear. This is something here. This is something here that this person is feeling a sense of guilt or remorse. There's a sense of deception or lie. There's something that they're not saying, or something that this doesn't look right. This doesn't feel right. There's something here that's not on the up and up. And so your absence is placing them in a position where they need to confess or bring clarity to themselves, not about you. Okay? This is all pointing all in the same direction. Right? So this person's about your absence is realizing I shouldn't have even lied in the first place. Now we have not one, hold on, not one, not two, hold on, where's the other one? Not three, but four different decks saying the same storyline. Literally, in every of those cards that I just showed you, the word lie, deception is there. So, there you have it, my dear. There you have it. Someone's trying to be sneaky. This person's trying to be sneaky, and their plan, their sneakiness was either uncovered, and they're like, damn, I can't believe Monica figured it out, or damn, Monica saw through it. And now S is in a position where he has to what he's going to do with his lying, deceiving ways. And all of that is very much connected to his inner circle. Okay? Friends, family, loved ones, things that he dealt with in the past or recent past. And again, confessions. A hidden truth is ready to surface, exposing what's been concealed. I can't give you more. Every single deck is saying the same thing. And you see how much I shuffle. There's no illusion of the trickery here. Okay, I'm not Houdini's daughter or granddaughter, so I can't make that happen. But it's unreal how this has been so clear. That's why it says shadowed waters. There's still unclarity here. There's still illusions here. Even to this day, even when you're not there, even your absence is causing, again, look at that. I'm not making it up. It says, beware, legit, beware illusions that skim the surface. For true understanding lies in the depth. This person needs to do a lot of shadow work, honey. Now, let's take a look at an advice for you. Okay, Monica? Monica, we are done with your reading here. I mean, wow, unbelievable. There's a lot of reflecting this person has to figure out. And if I were you, I would not be worrying about. Remember, where your mind goes, energy flows. And what you think about, you bring about. So I would just leave this alone. And heading into 2026, honey, you don't want to attract this magnet of an energy over here. I wouldn't. I would not. There is some with this person's perception, feelings, or whatever this is. Man, what a reading. This was a doozy, huh? We have here strategy and tactics. Okay, you got to focus on strategy and tactics. Your decisions have brought you to a new chapter. Talk about validation confirmation, because you left this person behind. You left the situation behind. And that's the best thing you did. I just told you that's the best thing you did for yourself. It says your decisions have brought you to a new chapter in spiritual evolution. Now is the critical moment for strategic planning, ensuring each piece you move is aimed to at achieving your highest success. Remember, strategy and planning are the keys to winning the game of life. There you go. Okay, so you have a person here taking a look at chess pieces. And again, this is giving you a thumbs up, saying congratulations for getting yourself out of a situation here that you may have felt, experienced, or noticed that there was some type of lying here. And guess what? This person feels exposed. They're like, wow. Okay. Deception and lies, uncovering the truth. Why? Because there was a deception or a lie. Look at that. And confessions. And there you go. That being said, I hope these messages have been beneficial, and I hope that they have given you the clarity that you need. Thank you so much, Monica, for stopping by and for getting clarity. I hope this has helped. Thank you so much, Monica. Up next, whomever would like to step up, feel free. Please remember, intuitive friends, that these messages, I'm not sure about the clarity, but it's clear, it's hidden. Yep, there you go. I mean, it can't be clearer than this. There's a thing about things here in life. You could be given all the clarity and proof. Always that one piece is, do you want to believe it or do you not, right? Do you want to allow yourself to see things for what they are, or is there a sense of still wanting to create and hold on to an illusion, to an excuse, right? And of course, that is why we have free will. We have the choices to make, to believe or not, or to move on and pivot. All right. All right, Monica, thank you so much for your super. I hope these messages have brought you the clarity of what your absence is revealing in regards to this person's feelings and emotions. Okay. Like I said, this is clearly here showing that a person is like, man, I got caught red-handed, and now I got to deal with the consequences of the deception, of the whatever this was about. All right. All right, intuitive friends, up next is open. So those of you who are interested in taking part into this reading, please feel free to step forward. Please know that these messages are not free messages. It is a $15 super chat. This is a super chat live. You ask and I answer. I want to say hi to Shatira. Shatira, welcome, my love. Thank you for stopping by. I'm sorry I couldn't take a look at the phone. I never do, because when that throws me off. So I just saw here that Shatira, you stopped by to say hello. So thank you so much. All right, intuitive friends, welcome, welcome. If you are interested in getting a You Ask and I Answer reading, please feel free to take a look at the example questions. I do not answer yes/no questions, but I do answer open-ended questions where we get more of what you may need to know about a particular situation. What needs to be uncovered, what needs to be taken a look at. That's the type of reading that I do here on my channel. All right. All right, intuitive friends, remember, it is open as long as you take a look at the example questions and your question can be plugged in there in the example questions. I'll be more than happy to channel your messages. Please remember, this is not a free reading. It is a $15 USD super chat live. So please feel free to join. Again, the example messages or example questions are down below. All right, let me put this away and then let's see who's here. And let's, because as you know, I always, hold on. Ooh. Want to make sure here we're on the up and up. Everything's nice and clear. All right, so let's see who's here and let's see what's going on here in the chat. Welcome, welcome, Monica. Monica said, oh my God, it's all revolving around hidden truth. Am I correct to say that this absence is leading him to reflecting on how his hidden truth caused all this? Yes, I would definitely say that that is exactly how this is looking at, like, for sure. You know, and by the way, I liked how you phrased that question, because that question is like, how is this person feeling about my absence? So it's like, what is my absence making this person feel? And again, it was all about deception, lies, and covering. I mean, it was, wow, is all I'm going to say. That was very, very interesting. I completely agree with that. You wrote here basically all the decks. Thank you for the reading, dear. Oh, thank you for dropping a rose, and you're very welcome. I'm not sure about the clarity, but it's clear. It's clear that, yeah. I mean, no, the part wasn't clear to you. I think everyone watching was like, "Ooh, it is clear. This person is like, you know, something's going on there. That person is learning some type of either karma or consequences for certain situations, circumstances, or events." So Monica wrote, can I ask questions like, how will my next romantic relationship be? Well, if you are in a potential romantic relationship, yeah. If not, you can take a look at the question is, how can I improve my love life? That would be a good one. Or how can I move my love life forward? Or what may be potentially unfolding with my love life in 2026? That would be a good one too. You know, so questions like, I'm curious what I am manifesting soon. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm actually so funny because that's I'm already doing the 2026 readings for 2026. So yeah. Yeah, you can ask a question like that. I just gave you 3 examples there. Whatever you feel may resonate for you. Yeah, you're more than welcome to ask another question. Shatira, hello, my love. I said hello before. I don't know. I think you left. But I was in the middle of a reading, so my apologies if I didn't say hello quick enough there. But yeah, That's what is looking like here, intuitive friends. Remember, intuitive friends, open-ended questions, and there are examples. I gave you example questions there in the chat as well as in the description. Okay, description box. For example, what do I need to know about? Fill in the blank. How can I move blank forward? How can I blank? Okay. How can I improve blank situation, whatever that may be about? What's potentially unfolding with blank? What should I watch out for in blank situation? Why was I ghosted? Why was my past connection? Why has my past connection gone MIA? Intuitive friends, I will be leaving in about 5 minutes. So if there isn't another super chat coming up, I will be leaving in about 5 minutes. How can I blank? How can I improve blank situation? What's potentially unfolding with blank? What should I watch out for in blank? Why was I ghosted? Why was my past connection gone MIA? Why the silence between blank and myself, or blank and blank, or my partner and I, or whatever? That being said, we're going to jump into the next reading. And welcome back, Monica. Thank you so much, Monica, for your super chat. And here we're looking at how will my next romantic relationship be potentially? Okay, so let's take a look at the potential energy. Okay, let's take a look. Monica, thank you again for your super. And let's take a look here at what may be potentially unfolding in a potential relationship here. How will my next potential, how romantic relationship be potentially? So we're looking at characteristics, we're looking at descriptors, we're looking at this energy. And by the way, this is a 15-minute reading. So anyone who wants to come after Monica, just make sure that you come like you start thinking about it now if you're going to come up or not, because as soon as I finish Monica's reading, I will be ending this super chat live. Okay. So let's take a look here, Monica. Monica, just a reminder that these messages are for entertainment purposes only. And let's see, how will Monica's next romantic relationship be potentially? Okay. Let's see. I'm excited. Let's see. You have here the Eagle King. Ooh, big picture. Angelic help. So you've been manifesting something here. You have been manifesting this connection. You're going to be have a very keen eye. I feel this next potential, by the way, this next potential relationship here, the how of it, this could be a person who's very heady, a person who's intelligent, a person who's equally watching and observing like you. I feel here that this potential next romantic relationship will be very close, or if not, what you have already been manifesting or asking for. I think that you're going to be looking at the bigger picture. So it's not so much about looking at every single dot, but how these dots give this overall panoramic view. So there's a sense of awareness here in paying attention to the theme that this person may have been dealing with over and over again in regards to their past. And that's easy to ask because give me 1 second. No, leave it. Sorry, Monica. It was Ace with his shenanigans. I have no throw pillow at this time in my apartment because he decides to chew on that. So the bigger picture here, how will the next romantic relationship be potentially? It'll be an answer to for this alignment having to do with what you've been hoping, wishing, desiring, and manifesting, because you have here angelic help. It's going to be a relationship that's going to be very much aligned to what you've been calling into your energy field. Like I said, there's going to be this broad picture type of looking at something. Like they say, you look in the pool before jumping in. So there's a sense here of being a little bit more reserved in seeing the things that you need to see before you jump into the pool. Okay? So looking at the big picture. Gaia's Garden. Gaia's Garden gives me a fall energy. Fall as in autumn season. Now, I know you must be saying to yourself, man, that's like so far away. But it could be one or two things. Either this could be developing in the fall of 2026, or there could be other things that could happen before then, but there's more of a stability in either the person, the friendship, or the connection, perhaps in the fall. So those are two messages that I'm getting. The third message that I'm getting here in regards to Gaia's Garden is this person. So far, this is what I'm getting. I mean, there could be multiple elements coming through here for you, but I'm getting air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, maybe in some parts of their astrological natal chart, whether it's their north node, whether it's their moon, whether it's their rising, their Venus, or their sun. Or they could also have here earth element, okay? Earth element, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Now, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, that could also be talking about seasons also here. So it could go either way. But Gaia's Garden is there will be a potential here for the opportunity in abundance. Abundance and prosperity and success. All very objective, okay? Because different people view success, abundance, and prosperity different. Okay, we all have different definitions of what that is. But whatever that definition is for you, I feel that there's more of growth and alignment in regards to attracting someone. And chances are, correct me if I'm wrong, but my spidey senses are telling me you're really calling in, manifesting someone who is very stable in finances or resources. Someone who has a stable income, stable home, stable nest egg. Someone that is not going to ask you, let's pay 50-50 on this dinner. You see what I'm saying? You want someone who can provide. Fill in the blank of what provide may mean for you. But definitely someone here who's stable in their income, in their nest egg, in businesses, stable in their lives. They're not going through a divorce, or they're not going through, whatever, crazy ups and downs. Listen, we all have ups and downs, but if you have a whole bunch of baggages that you're carrying, I'm not saying you, I'm saying we need to really look and not allow our emotions to override our intelligence, because there's someone here who, let's say, and I'm not saying here with you, I'm just saying in general, someone who still hasn't gotten divorced, who's going through court cases, who's doing this, doing that, going through all this stuff. No matter how much you love each other, all those stresses are going to fall on the connection. And guess what? The person who is not coming in with those baggages is going to have to now deal with a person who has all those baggages and stresses. So this is coming across as you really calling into your energy field someone who is more stable and knows what they want. So this is beautiful. This is a beautiful energy here of this potential relationship that can unfold for you here in 2026 or whenever this may come. Okay. Again, I'm feeling a strong autumn feel here. Okay. It's like interesting because this could be the person or the relationship coming in during an air sign season, but becoming more stable during an earth sign season. Okay. Let's see what else here. How will Monica's next relationship be? I feel it's a relationship that's going to be more stable. It's going to be a relationship that has the grounding and the stability that not only you possess in your life, but that you're going to be able to see also in this other person's life as well. All right, let's see what else is coming through for you. Let's see. Let's pick up on more qualities here. The quality of this next romantic relationship. Look at that. See, you want to build. And guess what? The next romantic relationship will potentially be validation confirmation on what I said earlier. There's a sense of stability, success, abundance, okay? Building. You want someone where it's not assembly is required. You don't want that type of energy. You want someone who knows who they've built through their hard work, dedication, and focus, that they've built their nest egg, that they've built their career, that they've built their finances, that they've built their home. You want a complete, stable situation. And that's what this is telling you, that your next romantic relationship potentially could be this sense of ensuring that the person has built or created a solid foundation. And how will you know? Because that's the next question here, right? By the way, you have here, look at that. Fates is right behind. No wonder, because I'm getting like, no, don't get rid of it. Hold on. That makes a whole lot of sense. Hold on a second. How are you going to know if this person or this relationship that may be potentially transpiring or that you may be calling into your energy field is the type of relationship that's worth you working towards or solidifying or whatever? You got to look at this person's past. You got to ask those important questions. That's going to give you an indication here of what is going on before you walked into this person's life and before this person walked into your life. Why am I saying that? You have here a man who on their crown chakra has an eagle. Okay? So it's going to be super important for you to pay attention to this person's strong belief system, values. A person's past can potentially tell you how they might be in the future if they haven't healed from whatever it is that their pattern is. So let me give you an example. And I'm not saying you will, but I'm just saying hypothetical. You meet somebody and they have a bad pattern of leaving every single woman and every single connection in the same way. Everybody's fault. It's never their fault. It's never what they did. They're a runner. They're running. They're always on the go. They're always moving from one apartment to another, from one house to another. They might have an MO, a person who may not be stable in their job, a person who has a new job every 2 years, every 3 years, every 4, you know what I'm saying? There's no roots. Does this person plant roots? And do they take care of those roots? Do they take care of that? How are you going to know how someone is? Look at what their past is telling you. Their past will always give you a story. It will give you a story of someone who may not be ready. It could give you a story of someone who's a runner. It could give you a story here of a person who tends to manipulate, or a person who's ready, or a person who was hurt, or a person who was deceived. I mean, it gives you a whole story, but the clarity needs to be your focus here, okay? Where this person, have they built before you walked in? Is this person living with mommy and daddy? Is this person renting a room? Why don't they have their own place? Why don't they have, you see what I'm saying? All of this tells you their past. So by you paying attention to that, that's going to give you a very clear indication. Am I walking into a person's life, or am I letting this person walk into my life who is either in lack, or is this person wanting and having a strong stability in their past and they just want to build from what they already have? Okay. So that is this beautiful energy. Now, what's interesting is that I told you earlier that I feel that the earth energy here is very important. There could be here some type of like beginning or solidifying something during autumn season of 2026. Now, what's interesting is I was corrected. And guess how I was corrected? Because that's what I was channeling here, remember? And it says that could be true, but it all depends in divine timing. So this relationship here that may be potentially unfolding, okay, may be, again, the universe and fate. It's up to fate. It's about it's up to divine timing. If that's the case, this person could have a strong Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn placement. Okay? If they do, that may be an indication here. Because if we're not talking about this being timing, we could then talk about this in a sense of descriptor of perhaps a person's going to be in here. Okay? So this overall energy of this potential relationship is one that is focusing on stability, is focusing on success, is focusing on abundance. All right? And at the end of the day, it's up to the divine when the right time. Because remember, when we're talking about relationships and we're talking about other people, this flipped over. So we're going to pull it out in a minute. We have to look, it's not just your timeline that needs to be good, it's also this other person's timeline. So while you may be ready now, that person, whomever this person may be, may still be dealing with some things. That although one person in this equation potentially here in the area of romance may be ready, the other person might not. And what happens is if you end up meeting at the wrong time, then we end up in situations where it's good, but it's complicated. It was the right person, but not the right time. Let's see what else is coming through here. Indecision. Your next romantic relationship potentially here will be making a choice. I don't know what this choice may be. Whether this is you, whether it's the person, whether it's maybe it's up to you whether you want to pursue a romantic connection when the time comes. because you don't know what's up ahead. Right now, you may be focusing on wanting to have a connection, but who knows? Maybe you reach a certain level of success in something, in an endeavor, in a project, or in something that you're doing or dealing with in your life, that now all of a sudden you feel fulfilled, where you may feel like, I don't feel like I need to have a partner. I'm good. I have my own house. I have my own home. I have my own business. I have fame. I have notoriety. People know who I am. There could be a whole lot of reasons. So there may be here a decision in the near future. And by the way, you do have angel number 88 here for you. Okay. So you have 17, 1 plus 7 is 8. And of course, you also have here the number 8 with indecision. So right now at this moment in time, you may feel like your focus is a lot on love, but you don't know what may happen later on. That may not be the case. Or if it is, it's, well, how do I juggle? Because I'm in a position where I'm very successful. And so I don't know, do I have the time to devote to a connection or a relationship? But that's what I'm getting here with the indecision. Give me 1 second. Let's clear indecision, and then we're going to keep, I'm going to use 2 more decks after this one to gain more clarity here. Okay, give me more clarity here on indecision. What could this be here potentially causing a sense of indecision here in the next romantic relationship, potentially here for Monica? Stories we tell ourselves. Are you narrating your life through the lens of limitation or empowerment? That's the decision here. That's the indecision. Are you going to be looking at this potential connection or this potential romantic opportunity here in divine timing? Okay, because it says the fates in divine timing. Are you going to look at this potential romantic connection in the near future? Are you going to look at it as a limitation, or are you going to look at it as an empowerment? Okay. So that's what's coming through here with this indecision. So we're going to put that here in the corner over here. And let's get more clarity. All right, so I'm going to use this deck and the tea leaves, and then I'm going to give you advice. All right, my dear? This is looking good, though. It's looking like it's going to be something solid, but it's interesting because it's coming across as like you're going to need to make a decision here about something. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I mean, we all have free will, you know? So let's see here. What else? How will Monica's next romantic relationship potentially be here in this potential divine timing? Okay. Careful. Don't make the same mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes as before. Learn, and that's why this came out this way. You're gonna have to learn whatever it was, whatever lesson from your last connection. Okay, that there was a sense of being deceived, someone not being honest. It's coming back. What's coming back? What's coming back is reminding you here to be well aware of certain situations, circumstances, or events in regards to a person, okay? Whatever relationship it may be that may be coming up, you need to make sure that you've cleared this energy from the past or recent past. Why? Because if you have certain residual energies from the connection, see, look at that, elemental, okay? If this storyline, if this breakup, separation, or divorce that you may have gone through in the past or recent past, if you don't heal and gain clarity on why you continue to do and get yourself in the same pattern with the same cast of characters, or it's a new set of characters, but it's the same storyline, this is already telling you it is time for you to really pay attention to what that pattern is. Because if you can't identify the pattern, then you're not going to be able to identify how to resolve it. So you got to take a look at what pattern you have that may keep you stuck into thinking about either about the people in the past, situations in the past, where the energy is, I wonder how so-and-so is doing, and so-and-so is in the past. I wonder what so-and-so is thinking, and so-and-so is in the past. I wonder what's going on with that other and again, is back to the past, where if you keep yourself in the past, you're not going to be able to move forward. And so, in a way, it's telling you, you just have this open book. And there needs to be this chapter of, you know what, those cast of characters, those situations, circumstances, and events happened in the past. And should they come up, should the pattern come up in the near future, I know exactly what to do. Because that is what this indecision is talking about. It's asking you this question rhetorically. Are you narrating your life through a lens of limitation? Okay, same self-sabotaging thoughts, limited belief, same storyline over and over and over and over? Or are you placing yourself in a place of empowerment where you cut the cords and you allow yourself to be moved and to be changed by utilizing the power of transformation, the nature of transformation? Completely cutting the cords with things, people, thoughts, okay? Thoughts about thinking, I wonder how that person in the past is doing. I wonder what that person in the past is thinking, feeling, moving, doing. It has nothing to do with you anymore. They're in the past. So if you continue in the energy of the past, then the longer we're going to have time here in this natural unfolding here, right? Because divine timing will be at play. That's why I wanted to ask more questions here about this indecision, because when we understand where this potential indecision may be coming from, potentially in the near future or whenever this may be, then we understand the pattern that may be potentially here showing up for us that we need to be attentive to, that we need to make sure that we don't recreate in this potential relationship that you want to manifest, okay? Or that you may be manifesting. So how will my next romantic relationship be potentially? It's all dependent upon where your head is going to be and how you're going to move. How sure are you about moving forward and really letting go of these patterns to allow yourself to truly transform? And I'm not just talking about just you doing what you got to do for yourself in career and finances and those important elements, but it's also about, well, am I still thinking about these people from the past? Am I still giving energy to past situations here? Why am I still asking about how so-and-so is doing in the past or recent past? Because I'm no longer with them. What is it that appeals to me And what appeals within me? What appeals me to want to know so much about other people that are no longer part of my life, right? So that is super important to be aware of, because that is what needs to be taking a look at here so that you can transform. Okay, so let's take a look here. I mean, listen, especially with this building blocks, right? You want to build, but you want to build having taken care of this. You want to build something that's not like what you just left, which requires here you to, again, rhetorical question, what are you narrating your life through the lens of limitation or the lens of empowerment? Only you can answer that question. All right, let's get, this did a really big peekaboo. Desk, pay attention to your work. Now, this could be here, your work, meaning your inner work, because I was just talking about that here. But this could also be what I channeled earlier, where, yes, we're talking about your next romantic relationship, but your focus on your own finances and your own stability can make way for this relationship to, again, have the stability that it needs. Because if you are in a mindset of being the empress, and I'm not saying this is the empress, but it does definitely give that energy where you are, look at that skull, where you are in this optimistic energy of abundance, prosperity, and success, then of course you're going to call in that energy in return. You're going to bring that energy towards you. So I feel that this potential romantic relationship or life, okay, potentially in whatever timeline that may come through, is going to be a really good one. It's going to be a stable one with a lot having to be dependent on what this area over here is talking about. Skull, hidden secrets can harm you. Okay. So I said this at the top of the reading with the Eagle King and with the building blocks, that whatever potential relationship you may be moving towards, with divine timing at play, it's going to be super important for you to understand this person's past, whomever this may be, or whomever these people may be, because it may be more than one person that you may meet in the near future, right? So you really got to understand where they're coming from. What's their past? What's their history? What's their MO? What's their pattern? Because those two things, you have the eagle, the man, and the building blocks looking at that energy in the past or recent past. And then you have here skull. By the way, skull, death card in tarot, Scorpio energy. Could be someone with a water sign. Seahorse, family matters. Okay. You may also want to manifest a person who has a very stable family and secure situation, right? That they're not going through a divorce, that they're not dealing with a partner who they have kids with, but the partner is meddling, or the ex-partner is meddling into this person's love life. So family matters is going to be very important. How are they taking care of the kids, the exes? How is that being handled? Is it toxic? You see? So those are very, very important elements here in regards to this unfolding here, which again looks very good here with Gaia's Garden. Okay. But again, look at this. The seahorse is also looking at the past. So looking at the person's past is going to be super important here in this next romantic connection. You have flowers. Happiness is on the brink. Like I said, it's like it's having me talk about all this stuff that's dealing with this indecision. And then we're going to get into happy moments like the flowers, happiness. Okay. There you go. Last but not least, let's see what else is coming through. Yeah, that's going to be a very good, happy, fruitful, abundant, prosperous, successful, potential relationship here with a person who wants to build. But there's a clarity of mind and clarity of being realistic in what is going on with this person. You know? What's going on in this person's life? Mountain, look at that. Major challenge to overcome. Yeah. And it fell here exactly in the area that I'm talking about. So it's looking good. It's looking like there's a potential here for growth. There's a potential for you to reap what you have sown. Okay. But a lot has to do with you letting go the things that we just spoke about a little while ago. All in all, divine timing is at play. Like I said, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius feeling a bit here of that energy too. And what's interesting here is that I'm getting here also spring. Okay, so there could be here a potential meeting of some sorts with someone coming spring of 2026, or a friendship. Remember, we don't always start off as like, this is going to be the person I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. We start off as getting to know people and seeing their patterns or their behaviors. So this is a cherry blossom, which indicates spring season, which is interesting because if we look at the earth signs that are connected to spring, it's Taurus. Taurus is the earth sign of spring. So that is super interesting here. So there may be something, again, connected to April or May, as well as here autumn or Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Last but not least, let's take a look at your last and final card. And okay, intuitive friends, since I don't have another super chat, I will be closing this reading right after I finish with Monica. All right, Monica, let's see what else is coming through. What is your potential advice in regards to how will your next romantic relationship be potentially? Prejudices. Okay. You're being called, I mean, this is exactly what I mentioned a while ago about those exes. You're being called to let go of all prejudices and preconceived notions. Okay. Complaints and criticisms only obscure your appreciation for life. Release the shackles within. That's what I was talking about here. Release the shackles within, and you will see the beauty around you with fresh eyes, embracing deeper connections. Again, all of this over here that I spoke about at the top of the reading, super important for you to let go, so that, as it says here, you can embrace the beauty around you with fresh eyes. For example, the renewal of spring. Okay. When does everything come back to life? In spring, right? Before spring, what season do we have? Winter. So there's a sense of something opening up for you here in the near future, or again, in love and in relationship, especially with the fact that Gaia's garden is giving that Empress energy. Remember, the Empress energy in tarot is ruled by Venus, and Venus rules two signs. It rules Taurus, which I said is one of the signs that I was talking about in spring. And it also rules Libra, which is an air sign. And what do you have here? A bird, which I did talk about that earlier. Again, validation confirmation in regards to air and bird. Again, when I talked about this person or your connection here, again, with the air, with the eagle, okay? Right? So there's this sense of paying very close attention to this energy, okay? So air and earth elements, again, coming through in this. And yeah, so there you go. I hope these messages have been insightful, Monica. They are part of the super. All right, intuitive friends. Since I don't have another super chat, I will be closing this reading. Intuitive friends, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty. Monica, thank you again. I hope that this has given you a very broad over kind of really, I mean, listen, we got a little deeper. We got a little bit, we went over the 15 minutes, but I think it was well worth it because we also explored some layers here as well. Okay. So that being said, I hope these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, and continue to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. And who do we have here? Rose quartz. Yes, you can. Okay, just take a quick look because I really gotta, I have to be off by in an hour. I have to get off in an hour. So yeah. Okay, so go ahead, Rose Quartz. Take a look at the example questions. Okay, my love? Take a look at the example questions. And if you are interested in doing a chat, super chat, please feel free to do so. Other than that, intuitive friends, if Rose Quartz comes in and does a super chat, that is the last super chat that I could take for today because I do have to jump on a meeting in a few. So I want to make sure that I get myself prepped up for that. But if not, I will come back and do a super chat at another time. Chances are tomorrow. So if you don't catch me now for a super chat, you can definitely catch me tomorrow because I will be having more super chats this week as I do have more time to devote to doing super chats in the channel. Okay. So again, Rose Quartz, if you're going to do it, jump on now. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 more minutes here. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Rose Quartz. Thank you for your generosity. Welcome. All right, Rose Quartz, please write your use the example questions. And if it is about a connection, let me know if it's a connection and separation, or if it's an actual connection, or if it's like the beginning stages of a relationship. Okay. What is unfolding between Tony and I? Okay, great. We'll take a look at that. Again, thank you so much, Rose Quartz. And so I'm going to write here closed session. Like I said, I have to get ready for a meeting, a Zoom meeting. But I will be back tomorrow for those of you who may have missed it. Okay, so closed session. Excellent. All right, Rose Quartz, welcome back. Let's take a look here at what will be coming through. All right, intuitive friends, listen, don't forget the January readings this month are going to be a little bit different. I'm doing quarterly readings. Okay, quarterly readings. So it's going to be super important for you guys to watch that. I did readings like that in 2022. Oh my God, it feels so long ago. But yeah, I did it in 2022. And back then I didn't have such a big platform as I do now, right? So I wanted to bring that type of reading style because it gives you an overview of the key themes, okay, of 2026. And I divide the year in quarters. So just to give a quick overview of the key themes or energies that I'm feeling within each quarter. And of course, you'll take a look at the monthly readings throughout 2026, but this may give you a little extra kind of heads up, okay? Like a forecast. It might rain, and if it rains, well, maybe I should carry my umbrella, okay? So it's that type of forecast. So if you're interested in that, take a look at the January readings. And I started yesterday with Aries. So if you want to take a look at what that may look like for you in your sign, just take a look at the Aries reading. Intuitive friends, this super chat is closed. Again, the super chat is closed only because I have a meeting to attend and I don't want to be late for that later. Got to get myself ready for that. All right, intuitive friends, welcome back. Let's take a look here, Rose Quartz. As a reminder, Rose Quartz, that these messages are for entertainment purposes only. And let's take a look here. What's unfolding between Tony and Rose Quartz 9073? What may be potentially unfolding between Tony and Rose Quartz in regards to the connection or in regards to whatever this may be? Okay. Rose Quartz, thank you so much for your generosity. It is greatly appreciated. Let's take a look here at what's coming through in regards to what may be potentially unfolding between Tony and Rose Quartz. Let's see what's coming through. And we have here, wild at heart, a desire for freedom leads to running away again. Okay. I don't know, but I'm getting rubber band effect here. All right. Are you and Tony together? Because if you are together, there's this energy here that there may be a situation, circumstance, or event that may pull both of you in different directions. This doesn't mean a breakup or a separation. It could mean that there could be here, what may be unfolding is two people either seeing things from different standpoints, maybe having a miscommunication or a potential misunderstanding. This could be also, are we both aligned to the things that we are wanting to see and move towards in regards to our life together? So are we in alignment? Okay. Now, the running away doesn't necessarily mean physically being apart, but it could talk about a topic or a point of discussion folding where one person may think one way, another person may think another. One person may feel one way, another person may feel another. And so this may be related, and it doesn't have to, but it could be related to the heart's desire. For example, and this is just an example, I'm not saying that this is the case for you, but this is an example. One person may be wanting to move and relocate. The other person may be like, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to move in 5 years, or I don't want to move from this apartment or from this house. That's one example. Another example may be one person may want, and again, this is just an example. I'm not saying it's your situation, but one person may say, I want to have children, or I'm open to having children. And the other person is like, no, I don't want to have children. This could be something like, yes, I want to have a pet. Okay. And the other person's like, hell no, I don't want to have a pet in the house. You know what I mean? So it could be something as simple as that, or it could be something more challenging where it's like someone gets relocated and like now we have to figure out how we're going to work this connection because I never really wanted to move in the first place, but maybe someone may have an opportunity to work in a different location or get a different, role or expand in a promotion. So while at heart is about desire, and am I still being my true authentic self? Because this is also here highlighting that you may have had some ideas, you may have had some plans before Tony walked into the picture. Are you putting those plans on hold? And if you are, why? Same thing for Tony. When you walked into Tony's life, were there some projects, plans, or passions that Tony really had his heart set on? Is he pursuing those passions? Is he pursuing those ambitions? If not, why not? So this could also be talking about the energy of pursuing certain elements, certain careers, certain successes in life before the other person walked in. So are we in alignment in regards to this potential energy here? Okay, within our connection, what may be unfolding? Are we still only as a team, but are we partners in things that we individually want to pursue? Okay, you may have passion to pursue something, he may have a passion to pursue something else, but are you still in alignment to achieving those goals? Right? So another example, someone decides after all these years that they want to be a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, a teacher, whatever, or a firefighter. All of a sudden, when I met you, that wasn't the case. But guess what? We forgot to talk about the fact that we have some passions that we just never got to because we were so consumed by emotion. We didn't really talk about the passion that we have aside from our love or connection towards each other. So are we fulfilling our life's purpose? And if we are we still on the same alignment? Are we helping each other? Okay. So again, that comes in those type of variety situations here. We have here the one who calms, stillness, purity, quiet. Okay. What's going on in your mind quietly? What is going on in his mind quietly? And this card is about two people that may be thinking, or maybe one person here is quietly pondering something, thinking something, desiring something, a heart's desire that may not be discussed or may not be shared, whether it's on your end or on his end. Okay? Is it the life's passion? Is it the soul's purpose? What is it? Right? So this potential unfolding is saying here, we have a person here who may be very curious on wanting to learn more about a specific situation, circumstance, or event, or maybe they want to learn more about their heart's passion or a desire. Maybe the desire, one person desires to move back to their home state or whatever, or, be closer to home because now parents are getting older. And so now things are shifting. Okay. And again, just an example. This could also be someone wanting to go back to school or learning something as well, because owls are about knowledge. They're about learning. Okay. So what could be potentially unfolding here are two people who may start seeing, like, I may be interested in X, Y, and Z. I haven't said anything yet, or, I maybe said it once, but there's something inside of me that's really pulling me in this direction of wanting to, listen to this spark that's happening within me. Okay. Let's see what else may be potentially unfolding here between Rose Quartz and Tony. And we have the one who forgives. Is there a sense here of remorse, guilt, or an apology that either hasn't been accepted or needs to be asked for? The one who forgives, what may be the potential unfolding here is someone still feeling or holding on to either a grudge or holding on to emotions from maybe a disagreement, maybe a prior breakup, maybe there has been some bit of a separation here, maybe over an argument, maybe whatever this is. It could be a misunderstanding. But the one who forgives is this energy that's unfolding here potentially of two people needing to clear the air about what it is that either one of you or both of you are thinking about and holding on to your mind or holding on to your emotions. Even if it's something innocent, even if it's an innocent misunderstanding, but that innocent misunderstanding can start leading down the rabbit hole into something more complicated and more convoluted if it doesn't get nipped in the bud in time. Okay. Let's see what else is coming through here. Hello, intuitive friends. If you are joining now, unfortunately, I have closed the session for this Super Chat Live. But if you want to take part in future Super Chat Lives, well, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell and all alerts. And as soon as I come back on and do another Super Chat Live, you will be notified. All right, let's get more unfolding here between Tony and Rose Quartz. Let's get clarity here for the one who calms. There you go. Mending. Mending, fixing, or repairing something. I said this when I talked about the one who forgives. Now, what's interesting is that mending is not clarifying the one who forgives. Mending is clarifying the calmness, the quietness, the silent treatment, the emotional disconnect, or the being a little extra quiet lately. Okay, I'm trying to do, yeah, here we go. So it doesn't do a glare, but here it is. Okay. What is being felt quietly that may be eroding or causing some type of slow erosion or wedge between Tony and you? Okay. Like I said, it might be something very innocent because I'm getting here the color white. It may be here that there may have been in the past or recent past a breakup, separation, or divorce. And you guys are trying again in this connection. And if that's the case, what seems to be here at the quiet under, what's here brewing quietly? That we may think or assume that things are all good, but in reality, that may not be the case. Someone may be harboring some emotions, feelings, or mindsets here. Okay, let's get more clarity here with the one who forgives. Remorse, guilt, or forgiveness. Look what we have here. All that glitters is gold. Not everything that looks great from the outside could actually be great. There could be some type of facade. There could be someone that is hiding the sadness, the grief, the loss of something. Someone who may be struggling here in some way, shape, or form. The unfolding really talk about something that may have occurred, and by the way, there are two cards here that may have occurred in the past or recent past, that either someone may, or someone may feel like, yeah, we're good, everything's fine, or giving the perception, the false perception that we are good, but in reality something doesn't feel quite as strong or quite as right as it did once upon a time or before we had that disagreement or argument. So all that glitters is not everything that looks great from the outside could be actually really good when we crack in and look deeper. Okay. So that is what's coming through here in this card. There's also here by the book. Okay. There's a sense here of, and it's interesting because you have here three elephants, and the three elephants, because I'm getting here Ganesha energy. There may be a need to chat or clear the air between you and Tony and tackle the obstacles that may be showing or rearing its head sometimes in conversations or in arguments. Because Ganesha is the deity of breaking down and destroying the obstacles and challenges that are in people's way. And whatever something that may have happened long ago, or a disagreement, or whatever, maybe a past breakup, maybe someone's feelings being hurt, but this is connected to some type of past or recent past. It's important not to let things accumulate and assume that everything is fine because I feel fine. Just because I am doing fine and I feel fine doesn't mean that my partner is fine or feels fine. They may be struggling, or it could be the reverse. There could be my partner assuming that I am fine because I'm quiet, because everything, I'm holding it together externally, but internally I may be going through something. May be connected to the connection, it may not. It may be connected to outside conflicts, work, money, family, kids. So that's the energy that I'm getting here in regards to by the book, needing to ensure that we're clearing the way of whatever past residual energies or situations or circumstances or events. What I'm also getting here is to give you the following example, where you may say, well, nothing right now is that big of an issue. Okay. And maybe that is someone's thinking here all the time, like, oh yeah, everything is good. So although that may be what is being perceived, it may not be what is being felt. And maybe that assumption is, again, something that someone else may say, oh, you always, see here, this card, oh, you always think that, or you always say that, or you always go back to that statement, or you always got to go back to that situation, or you always got to go back to that. That's what this is talking about. It's talking about clearing that book, clearing that chapter, closing those chapters in order to really be at this clean slate type of energy. Okay. Let's take a look at what else is potentially here unfolding. And I'm going to pull two more decks besides this one, okay? So I have this one. I'm going to pull out another one. And then, of course, then I'm going to give you, let me see what comes through here with this deck first. Because I choose them as I go and as I am being called to. All right, let's shuffle some more. What may be unfolding here between Rose Quartz and Tony? Oh, that flipped, like literally jumped. So we have you deserve love, finances, career, release your ex, and reach out. Okay, I'm going to take those because those all jumped out at one time. You deserve love. You are lovable. Okay, making sure that the self-worth issues are at bay, making sure that you are taking care of yourself, that you are loving yourself, that you are nurturing yourself, just as Tony making sure that he is taking care of himself, that he is focusing on himself, that things are progressing in that way. Because if you are not allowing yourself to pour into yourself and nurture yourself and love yourself, you'll end up accepting anything to fill your cup. That's why it's super important that we connect and we ensure that in our connections, we are full when we're by ourselves, and we are still full when we are in a connection. Okay. And we're just giving each other with, reciprocity here. Finances and career. Okay. Now, this could be talking about the finances and career here. Okay. Rose quartz. Let's chat about that. There could be here a situation having to do with finances, meaning money, nest egg, investment, how to spend the money, how it's being spent, what is the value that someone has towards, what's their mindset about money. Someone may feel like someone is spending too much. Another person may be feeling like that they're spending too little. One person could be a little bit more frugal. Another person may be more open to allowing themselves to spend, a little bit more freely. That is about the finances. One person could be at a higher economic bracket. Another person may not be in a. Those are those finances that it's talking about here. If it's not finances that this is talking about, it could be career. Now, this could be career choices. This could be the demands of a career. This could be the schedule of a career. This could be a career that has someone flying out and moving and taking planes and, being away from home for days. Okay. That's what career is. Okay. That could potentially be. But somewhere here in this unfolding, there may be a situation, circumstance, or an event that may be potentially unfolding, or that may be very much connected here to finances or careers. And of course, I just explained that a little while ago. There could also be either you or Tony still holding on to some residual energies, whether those residual energies are about finances, whether those residual energies are about career, whether those residual energies are about the many topics that I just talked about here with finances and or career. This could also be talking about the self-sabotaging thoughts or limited beliefs, especially if someone doesn't feel, or especially when, for example, let's say career, where someone expects to have a career where it's not interfering in their love life, but may end up in a career or in a partnership where someone's career does create a bit of obstacle. Okay. And so this is talking about, well, if you're the type of person who had this expectation that in order to have a positive relationship, the person has to be sleeping in my bed every single night because we're a partner, and that's totally fine with that. The other person may be like, well, I can't do that because my career has been going in and out, flying here, flying there. So that's where self-love comes in. And that's where trust comes in and all the other elements here. So that's what that's talking about. Someone may have a very clear feeling here about something, and they may not be letting it go, or they may be turning a blind eye because I don't want to talk about that. Because every time we talk about that, we get into an argument, or every time I talk about that, or, my partner talks about that, it gets difficult. And so we just rather act like there isn't a problem or there isn't anything to heal, mend, or fix. and let's see where the chips are going to fall. And so this is saying, if there is that type of energy or mindset here, and I'm not saying there is because I don't know, I'm just channeling the messages. If there is some type of this resonates with you, I would take a closer look at what this is. What is the key core situation here that is causing this potential unfolding to look energetically this way? This says reaching out. Expect a call or a text from your point of interest. Maybe there is a long distance situation here. Maybe there is a high demand here with career. Maybe there is a high demand with finances. Maybe there's an emotional high demand here where one person may have had a certain expectation of what they want their love life to look. And now there's a reality of maybe that may not be quite as like I imagined it, or I assumed, or I thought. Or maybe there's something here that was agreed upon at the beginning and now it's not as clear. But whatever it is, there's an expectation here of certain, either expecting a call, expecting a text, or having an expectation on a conversation that, although may have been discussed once upon a time, may be addressed or taken a look at again, because there may be something here that may be need fixing, mending, or repairing, or at least clearing out the air. Because if not, this potential unfolding here, there may be a desire for freedom that leads to running away from either the situation, circumstance, event, whether that's the wedge that's causing this, whether it's one person that may want to say, hey, listen, I'm done, or I'm tired, or I don't know what else to do, or that may set the stage here for something to happen behind the scenes, that there may be a little bit of deception here. And I'm not saying there is now, but I'm saying if something doesn't get cleared, it may leave room for that temptation or that lack of clarity or whatever this may be. Okay? Because something, again, is not cleared. It says the time has come to clear your energy. Something is not feeling at 100%. Okay? So this is talking about needing to have those type of discussions, clearing the air here with this potential unfolding. Let's take a look at this deck here, and then of course we will close the reading with this one right over here. And let's see, let's get more clarity here. What is unfolding potentially here with Tony and Rose Quartz? Rose Quartz, I hope these messages, look at that, crossing paths. Okay. You've crossed paths for a reason. I'm also getting here, maybe someone here, a blast from the past, crossing paths here, whether it be on Tony's end or on your end. I'll leave it up to there. Don't know. I mean, this could be friends, family, loved ones. This could be also a blast from the past as an ex, because release your ex is here. Okay, so there may be some familiar, if it's not a person, there could be a familiar storyline coming up here or potentially unfolding due to the fact that this energy is rolling around. So, and I'm not saying, and I'm going to repeat because I don't want you to mistake what I'm about to say. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen or unfold. I'm just saying if there's a tendency of someone cheating, that could be something that could come back up. If there is a tendency here, and I'm going to give you different things, I'm not just going to say that's it. If there's a tendency here for someone to run when things are off, then that may be something that could be coming up here. If there's a tendency for someone to break up and get back together and break up and get back together, that may be that type of energy that's saying here, hello, we may be crossing paths to either an action or reaction or a person that we go back to doing the same type of pattern that we did in other connections. That may not be connected to you, Rose Quartz, but it may be connected to other connections and how Tony may have behaved in other connections or how you may have behaved in other connections. Okay? All right, let's get another one here. Hopefully this is making sense and giving you a sense of clarity. All right. We have here unexpected news. Unexpected news says unbelievable news will shatter your expectations. Okay. So this could be the unfolding of having a conversation here that needs to be had. Okay. Something that may have been discussed several times. Something here that someone doesn't want to talk about, or someone here that is hiding their feelings or their thoughts. Something here that a person may have a guilty conscience about. Maybe something was said or done. Maybe you know about it, maybe not. Whatever this may be, it may be that. It may be the fact that we need to figure something out because someone looks at someone's texts, or someone looks at someone's phone, or someone is like, what's going on? Because I'm not seeing you as often, or you don't seem as passionate as you were before when we were in our connection. So there may be some type of unexpected news or conversation, or again, someone here feeling like all of a sudden they're just getting or creating more space between the two parties. Okay. One person may be like a little bit more distant than the other, but there's some type of aha moment that may be coming through for you and Tony in regards to your connection. And if this is something that you feel that is if I were you, I would make sure that we make time to, not we meaning you and me, but you and Tony, make time to have a conversation here, because something here may come out of the clear blue sky when in reality, it was not from the clear blue sky. There were some sign symbol synchronicities here from the past or recent past that have been showing themselves little by little, but there may have been a bit of a turning of a blind eye here in some way, shape, or form. Let's see what else is coming through. Shared experiences. Shared experiences deepen the bond between you and others. So being more open to making more quality time together, because there may be here an underlying issue, problem, or feeling that we are not spending enough quality time together. There may be different love languages here at play also, and is also coming across as the quality of time or time in general here, having to do with either, again, finances or career. Okay. And it's funny because I mentioned this a little while ago, like the expectation of something was one way at the beginning, and now there's a kind of a clear and different reality. That being said, Rose Quartz, let's take a look at the last and final card. And this, of course, is advice for you. Clear quartz, rose quartz. I don't know why I said clear quartz, but rose quartz. I don't know. Maybe you have a clear quartz around, and this is a great time to clear some things here. You know what is funny, rose quartz? This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing you writing Tony's full name and your full name, and on the same like little paper, like a string of paper, folding it and then putting it under a clear quartz. Okay, so maybe to clear or to clarify this energy-wise. Okay, so that is coming through very strongly because I got clear quartz instead of saying rose quartz here. Yeah, so if I were you, I would do that to kind of help clear the energy. Last but not least, we have here patience. Okay, patience. Let's see. You have patience and you have fresh opening. Okay, so those two cards back to back. Patience says the universe timeline doesn't always align with our desires, but it weaves the future in its own way. The delays you're experiencing as a couple, meaning you and Tony, the delays that's unfolding here, the delays you're experiencing or preparing for, the delays you're experiencing are preparing for the miracles that both of you are waiting for. Forcing things won't speed the process. Okay? It says instead, it may cause you to miss the miracles meant for you. Time here again, there's a clock here showing something about time. And again, we have here shared experience. There may be a focus here of sharing quality time together so that there is a safe environment to be able to speak openly about the vulnerabilities here that need to be spoken about. Last but not least, we have fresh opening. It says, destiny has opened a door for you. Let yourselves dive into this fresh life. Open your heart fully and welcome this gift you deserve. Now, what we see here is a lotus, a white lotus opening up behind the scenes here. Okay, so very, very beautiful energy. The fresh opening is 2026. Okay, 2026 is the year of one, and it's the year of clarity. It's the year of new beginning. It's a year of a new chapter, like literally, because it's the number one, and one are all about new beginnings and fresh new starts. That being said, clear quartz, I hope these messages have been insightful. And I do want to thank you for your generosity here. I hope this is giving you a sense of clarity, or at least is giving you a sense of illumination in regards to what may be brewing here. Let's see what you just wrote here. Oh, you dropped a rose of thanks. Oh, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. So this may be resonating for you. Okay. That being said, thank you so much, Rose Quartz. I'm happy that these messages have resonated for you. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, and continue to subscribe and share my YouTube channel with like-minded souls. Take care, Rose Quartz, and thank you again. Thank you, Monica, and thank you, Rose Quartz, for stopping by in this Super Chat Live. Take care and have a good one. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day, my dear. Oh, where's my, oh, there goes the cursor. Okay, there we go. All right, bye-bye. Have a good one.